Okay, gang. So now we are ready to talk about the SEO process in action. What is it that we as marketers need to do to accomplish in order to take something from just a concept, an idea, to a page that exists on our website that can rank in Google and that can earn us search traffic? The first thing that we want to start with, before we ever get to which keyword should I target and what page should I create, is audience research. We need to deeply understand and have great empathy for who is in our target audience and who are our audience's influencers. And sometimes those are two very different groups. Your target market might be people who buy camera lenses, but your influencers might be professional photographers, people who run photography classes, people who have powerful accounts on Instagram, right? The people that those folks who are buying camera lenses are paying close attention to. And you should be looking for them in a bunch of different places, right? So we might find them, we could find them on various websites in the photography community. Maybe we'd find them on different social networks. Instagram's a good one. Facebook is probably also a good one. Twitter could be a place. We want to know things like, what do they search for and what is their search behavior like? Do they do searches for this type of content, or are they more on the receiving end of it and they don't go out and proactively look? What niche sites are they paying attention to? What sorts of offline media do they listen to? Once we figure those things out, we can do a much better job at answering the questions that we're going to have around keyword research. And keyword research is our next step, but without this fundamental understanding of who our audience is, where they go, what they're like, what they prefer and don't prefer, and that deep empathy for them, we're going to do a terrible job at keyword research and a terrible job at making content. So our keyword research process is going to start with a brainstorm. We know who our audience is, we know their influencers, we know their tastes and preferences, we know what they do and where they go. Let's brainstorm. Literally, two of us in a room are going to write up on a whiteboard a list of terms and phrases that we think people might be searching for around our topic. It can be really helpful to have someone from your customer service team, if you've got a customer service team, someone who interacts with customers regularly, maybe someone from your marketing team or community team. It can be great to have someone who does sales for you because they know the types of language that people are using in your sphere. From there, we're going to take that brainstorm and we're usually going to go to the AdWords keyword tool, which is now Keyword Planner inside of Google's AdWords program. There's Moz's Keyword Explorer and Keyword Difficulty tool. There's SEMrush, which has a great database of terms and phrases. You can even search for a domain of one of your competitors and see all the keywords that they rank for. SimilarWeb will tell you all the keywords that sent traffic to a site. So again, you can plug in your own site, but you could also plug in competitors there. KeywordTool.io has kind of a full keyword research process. And then you can use Google itself. So if I know that people are searching for camera lenses, I could search for camera lenses in Google, but don't hit enter. Just see the list of all the things that populate as Google suggests other terms and phrases to you. You may need to turn off autocomplete in order to get that, because otherwise Google will take you right to the search results. And there's another tool that does a great job of actually scraping Google Suggest and collecting all those terms for you. It's called Uber Suggest, run by a couple of Italian guys out of Naples, actually, and they do a terrific job. Have a nice free tool for you there at ubersuggest.com. Once you've gathered all these keywords, so you've brainstormed, you've run your keywords through these tools, now you're going to expand and refine your list. So you might take a few and say, I don't want that keyword anymore. I'm going to keep these ones. These ones look good. And now we're going to build a spreadsheet. This is, a little time consuming, well, a lot time consuming, but it's critical in order to be able to prioritize which keywords we should go after. That spreadsheet is going to include a few columns. It'll have the keyword themselves, the estimated volume of searches, which you can get from AdWords or a number of these other tools, but it all comes from AdWords. The difficulty, which you can get from Moz or from a number of other sources. Opportunity, which is essentially an estimate of the relative click-through rate that you expect. So as you might imagine, if there's lots of ads at the top of a search, the click-through rate for the organic results is going to be slightly lower. If there are very few ads, the click-through rate for organic will be higher. if there are, a box of Twitter results and image searches and a big news box or a knowledge graph result, right, where Google gives you an instant answer and tells you about what Wikipedia says about a thing, that opportunity is going to be reduced. And then lastly, business value. This is a column that you're going to come up with a number that you estimate based on the keyword. How valuable do I think that would be to the business if I were to get high rankings for this search term or phrase? Using all of these, you're going to calculate out some sort of predictive score over here, right? You could call it a combined score. And then you're going to basically say, okay, that's number 2, that's number 1, that's number 3. That's how we're prioritizing. And this is the order of which keywords matter the most to our business right now and what we're going to go chase after. What I suggest is doing this on a regular basis, usually quarterly, maybe every 6 months, even every year if your business doesn't fluctuate that much around search volume. But you need that, you need to be doing this on a regular basis so that you can capture new terms and phrases that people are using and so that you can figure out what your next target set of keywords that you need to go after include. Next, we're going to go into content strategy. And look, content strategy is a huge world. We could do hours and hours of classes on content strategy. So I'm just going to cover the basics here, and then you can learn more from lots of wonderful people on the web. But let's imagine that the keyword we're chasing is something like better mobile photos, right? We've decided that, hey, better mobile photos, that really fits with what we're going after, has good volume, low difficulty, high opportunity, high business value. Great, we like it. What are our audience needs? What do we know about this audience that they would want when they search for this keyword? And we could say, okay, we know they're going to want visuals, they're going to want information on editing, maybe they want to see different products and different devices, they're going to want to see examples, they want to see how to hold a camera, they want to see comparisons of photos taken with various devices, with various products. Now, we're going to try and figure out which business needs we have that this keyword and the content that we create is intended to serve. If we don't think about our own business needs, we could potentially produce some great content that people are very happy with that does very little for our business. That's probably not why we were hired as marketers. So maybe we have goals like drive brand awareness, and we want to get traffic specifically to the camera lenses page where we offer all our sales stuff, and we want to increase photo taking habits on mobile and make mobile photography more respected in the field. Great, these are our goals. Now we can brainstorm what is the content that will serve our goals, the user's needs, and the keyword targeting. And those are the 3 elements that we need for a good SEO content strategy. So I came up with a couple on the fly. They're probably not the best in the world, but how to take the best photo on every modern smartphone. I'm going to buy 12 modern smartphones, everything from LG and Samsung and Apple, and then I'm going to show people how to take the best photos on each one, and then I'm going to do a comparison. Or I could do a comparison of 10 types of photos, right? Indoor shots, outdoor shots, low light, high light, landscape, etc. From here, we're ready to take one of these ideas and go into our on-page optimization. On-page optimization, it's really just a checklist, right? We need to make sure that the page that we produce hits the mark on all of these items. And these items include, am I using the keyword intelligently in the title element, the page title? And then I should make sure that the headline of the page matches that title. Remember that page title appears in the browser at the very top above the URL bar. The headline is what people see right on the web page itself, and that headline should almost always match the title. There's a few times when it doesn't, but we won't get into those edge cases. The snippet, you want that snippet, the meta description and the title and the potentially any rich snippet opportunities that you have for images or ratings or those kinds of things to be very compelling. Compelling so that people will click them and they'll be very happy when they land on your page from that click. You need to look at the page and say, how am I going to create content that is 10 times more valuable to our audience than anything else in these search results? And this is oftentimes a challenge, but many times it's not. Many times you look at a search results and you go, boy, they are really all hitting the bare minimum. How could I blow these guys out of the water? How could I create something a resource that anyone who finds it or stumbles across it would go, my God, I so want that to rank. I wish that were the first result in Google. Why can't Google get this right? eventually they will. It needs to deliver a great user experience on every device. That means it's got to be mobile friendly, desktop friendly, potentially tablet friendly. It should answer the searcher's query. So 10 times better is great, but make sure you're also doing a good job of recognizing what is the searcher trying to accomplish here? What is their conscious and unconscious need when they're typing this query in? Page should load fast, preferably in under 3 seconds, but if you have to, 4 seconds is okay. And last but not least, we should include the keywords and topics that we believe search engines have probably associated, and searchers have associated with these search terms. So someone searching for better mobile photos, I better have things like words like smartphone and smartphone camera and lens and all those types of things included on the page.